Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back. We are in our 21 days of prayer and fasting. I'm Pastor Ben, one of the pastors here at Family Life, and I'm talking to you about Proverbs 24 today. And this chapter is a big one for wisdom. This whole chapter really just dives into examples of wisdom. What is wisdom? And I love this. I love this because it helped me understand what does it mean to be wise. And also the importance of wisdom. You know, sometimes our emotions, my feelings get in the way of making the wise choice, even when I know. But the importance of wisdom is emphasized here. You know, as I was reading through, I just took some notes, and there are some specific words that are associated with people who are wise. So I just figured I kind of give you some of those. In this chapter, the wise are described as strong, rich, mighty, stronger and stronger, victorious, sweet, hopeful, have a bright future. And I just, man, there's no better way to describe the importance of wisdom. I mean, I want to be all of those things. I have a few of the verses really stood out to me. In verse 12, this was a big one. And this is the NLT version. Don't excuse yourself by saying, look, you didn't know. For God understands all hearts, and he sees you. He who guides your soul knows you knew. He will repay all people as their actions deserve. And the context is, you know, don't forget about people. If you see something wrong happening, if you see somebody being unjustly punished, help them. Be there for them. You know, that one really stuck with me. That was convicting to me. I don't want to ever forget about somebody. I don't want to ever ignore somebody who's in need. Being wise is paying attention to those people. You know, verses 13 and 14, right after that, you know, it talks about wisdom being sweet for the soul. It's like honey. Verses 15 and 16, the godly may trip at times, but they will get up again. That was another one that really stood up to me. This is, I might have to cut this part, sorry. Okay, yeah. Verses 15 and 16, some of my favorite ones. The godly may trip 7 times, but they will get up again. But one disaster is enough to overthrow the wicked. And the context here is talking about how being wise is not attacking godly people, is not going after godly people. Some more of my favorite verses. Verses 33, 34, it's right at the very end of the chapter. Be vigilant, be aware. You know, there's this story about this person's yard and how it's overgrown. It's got weeds and thistles. And the writer of this book, or this chapter, he goes back and he says, I learned something from this. You know, I'm 1 extra minute of sleep, folding my hands, you know, just being lazy that's what's gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen to my life, to my yard, my business. That's what's gonna happen when I'm lazy. And it struck me when I read that one that there's a theme overlooking this chapter. It struck me that the key to wisdom falls right here. It's at the very end, and it's be aware, be awake, notice people, learn from your mistakes. Don't let a lesson go by when you do make a mistake. That's really what wisdom is. That's what I've been learning from this chapter. Is wisdom is being aware of what's happening. Of you know, just not ignoring people when they're hurting. You know, that's wisdom, but also learning from mistakes, learning lessons, and not letting those lessons pass us by. When we do make mistakes, getting up again and making a different decision. That is real wisdom. It's not always knowing the correct answer right off the bat, just spontaneously knowing like book knowledge. No, wisdom is getting up again and not letting an opportunity to make a different decision go by. So thanks for joining me for Proverbs 24. I hope you learned something from today.
All right, awesome.
Cool.